So NIO is targeting profitability actually by Q4 of this year, of 2025. Initially, they said profitability in 2026, but now profitability in Q4 2025. Can they achieve it, and why have they pushed forward the target? Well, speculation is very clear that they gotta show some progress towards profitability, in the sense that a lot of people have been saying that they're probably going to get some further outside investment. And for that to happen, they have to really show a profitable quarter to be able to get some juicy cash injection. Now, remember, XPeng CEO famously said that even if they sell 1 million cars per year, they're only crossing the line of death, meaning they're only beginning to turn profitable and they're able to sustain themselves and they're not going to die out. NIO has to do that as well. NIO has to show that they can cross the line of death and be able to self-sustain themselves and show some progress and be able to get that outside investment. Now, what are some things that need to happen in order for them to be able to become profitable in the sense? So first of all, a very important thing is, of course, the losses, right? Right now, losses are still massive. They're losing 700 million per quarter. You have to turn that into a profit. Where do those losses mostly come from? R&D, 400 million, and then, of course, SG&A, 500 million. Quite a lot, all right? So they're spending a lot on R&D and SG&A, but think about it this way. They've been developing so much stuff, right? They've been working on the Envol, the newer Envol car, rumored to be Envol L80 or Envol L70. And then they also been working on the Firefly car. They've been working on the ET9. They've been working on the 2025 versions of the NIO lineup. So they've been working on a lot of stuff. So that's why R&D spending has been really, really high. But now that these are going to come to market, is it possible that they could maybe not so much to remove R&D spending, but to at least slow down the pace to make it a bit more cost effective, reduce that number from 700 million down to maybe 300 or 400 million, something a little bit more reasonable, all right? Give some more breathing room for revenue to catch up. The other thing why it's very likely that they're going to be profitable is the fact that the 2025 versions of the cars will actually be more expensive. You heard that right. Yep, they're going to increase the prices of the car. It's a very reasonable thing to do because right now they're selling the existing cars with very big incentives and subsidies and that kind of stuff, and free battery swap vouchers and all sorts of crazy stuff, a BAS, pay for a month, get 1 month free, all this kind of incentive to get people to purchase the car. Some people are waiting for the 2025 version. Of course, you're going to have to pay a higher price. You can't expect that to be the same price. You can't expect to get the same incentives, right? You want the newest features and latest functions and everything, the most up-to-date stuff. You expect to pay up. So that is going to help boost their margin. Now remember, when they released the Q3 report, vehicle margin was around like 13%, double-digit margins, despite having great incentives. All right, so I'm gonna make I'm gonna say something pretty crazy. It is very possible that with the price increase across the lineup, 5566, all right, ET5, ET5T, ES6, EC6, price increase, newer version, they're going to have rocket level margins because something else to blow your mind. Okay, they're not using the NVIDIA or NX chips anymore. Before, every single NIO vehicle, they had to buy 4 chips off of NVIDIA for every single vehicle. That is hella expensive. NIO CEO even said in the past that they paid NVIDIA a whole lot of money, all right, for those chips. Each car has 4, man. So you're able to save the cost of those 4 chips and really reduce it down by a whole lot, and the processing power goes up, right? So before you used to have 4 Orin X chips, ET9 has one NX9031 chip, which is equivalent to 4 Orin X chips. And it also has another one as a backup. And still, that's much, 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 much cheaper than buying 4 NVIDIA Orin X chips from NVIDIA. So they're running things with all these incentives in Q3, and also they're paying NVIDIA 4 times for every car sold, and they're still able to get margins, vehicle margins at 13.1%. So imagine when they don't have to pay NVIDIA 4 times for every vehicle sold, right? So margins could see a huge improvement by not using NVIDIA's Orin X chips, and also by having the price of the car increase. You might possibly look at 20+% margins, all right? 20+% margins, and then on top of that, you're selling a lot of cars, and this is, of course, the big what if, right? Some of you guys might argue, and I am personally also a little bit worried that the Tesla Model Y, which is getting a lot of attention, last video we talked about it, Luxeed R7. There's also the Xiaomi YU7. I mean, these cars are just, strong, heavy hitters, all right? To stand amongst them and be able to hit back at them, will the 5566 be able to convince people to buy their cars with the price increase? I think it's going to be a very, very tough fight, but I think NIO will prevail, right? Because of the battery swap ecosystem, because people have been waiting forever for horizontal screen NIOs, okay? That is not an exaggeration, okay? Almost every single first-gen NIO owner that has not upgraded to the second-gen NIO car has stated that the horizontal screen is one of the main reasons that they haven't upgraded to another NIO. Also, no rear entertainment except for the ET7 executive version. Right? Even the Envo L60 has rear entertainment, so they got to add that into the newer 2025 versions of the car, and that makes the product sell. I hate to say it. I mean, it's a lot of these like surface things, shallow things, in America, people care about horsepower, energy efficiency, and that kind of stuff, and which is very important here in China. But people care about like how good I look. All right, having those screens in the car, being able to entertain the kids, having a big car, being bombastic and kind of showing off. They care about this kind of very shallow things. All right, so if that sells the car, for some other competitors, they compromise on quality, but they have these features in the car, and the car still sells and sells extremely, extremely well. Then what's preventing NIO from having this? Okay, NIO can do it. They can do it much better than those guys and not compromise on safety or anything, quality and stuff like that. So if you think about it, the 2025 version, apart from the ET9, is going to be the only NIO brand vehicles that will actually have horizontal screens for the first time, something that consumers really, really want, okay? And then we'll have to see if they have rear infotainment screens and that kind of stuff, because that's also going to be a huge, huge seller. The price increase, I think it's fair. It's very fair. And I do expect this car to sell well because there's so many people waiting for this car, waiting for the 2025 versions. On top of that, Firefly Deliveries, Envo's also going to have in Q4 the new car coming out, and that's going to also boost Envo's deliveries. So you got new NIO cars, new Envo cars, Firefly cars, all being sold at the same time, minus the NVIDIA Orin X chips, which has been a big, cost. That's going to really help boost margins and push us possibly to profitability. Yeah, I do. With the CEOs targeting profitability and with cost savings that they're doing, there's a very good chance that we can be profitable in Q4 this year. So hold on to your hats, guys. It's going to be It's going to be a very important year this year, okay? So let's see how these cars perform in terms of deliveries. People seem to have been very pessimistic towards these cars and think that they won't sell once the 2025 versions come out. Let's see if they do sell, okay? As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.